Hi there, today on the galley, beef stock. Now I've made a few videos for making stock. So today I just wanted to do a video just kind of highlighting all of the important tips that you should know. One of those is your marrow bones. I have about 6 pounds of beef marrow bones here. Now mine did come from Brown Percy, so that matters to me because then I know that these came from cattle that were pasture raised, grass fed, grass finished, no antibiotics or no growth hormones. But you can talk to your butcher for bones. Now sometimes they, depending on your butcher, if they're butchering themselves, they will have bones that they will let you have. But most every grocery store does have marrow bones in the freezer section. Now I have my oven on 500 degrees. Get your oven really hot, up to 550 degrees, because we're going to toss these bones in some tomato paste. Another thing important to me is I have tomato paste that does not have citrus acid because I don't want that in my stock. I'm going to toss my bones with my tomato paste, and then I'm going to put that in the oven for about 15 minutes. And this is going to do several things. It's going to add really nice color to your stock, and it's also going to pince this tomato paste, which means we're taking the bitterness out of it. And another thing that this tomato paste does is it is acidic, and the acid in it helps to draw out the trace minerals and the collagen from your bones. I'm gonna put them on a sheet tray into that really hot oven for about 15 minutes. So next, let's talk about the vegetables. You don't need an excessive amount of vegetables. You definitely want more bones than your vegetables. I'm doing 1 onion, and you can leave this outer skin on. You know, people say leave the skin on because it adds color to your stock, which neither here nor there. But I do take this outer one that's really dry and remove it because, you know, I don't know what all that's been rolling around in. But the second part that's important is that when you are cooking a stock, especially one that's going to cook for hours, you want to leave your vegetables in great big chunks. You do not want to cut this into little tiny pieces. Otherwise, they're just going to cook into your stock and make it very cloudy. So leave your vegetables in great big chunks. Now we're going to toss this in some tomato paste as well and put that in the oven. So I just want to toss that. Next, we're going to talk about a pot. Now you're going to want a pot big enough where that you can cover everything by at least 2 inches of your water. But you're also going to want a pot that has a very heavy, you can hear, this is a really thin pot. This is not something I would sit and simmer anything in for that kind of time. My pressure can, which does have a very heavy bottom, and this one in particular I can use on that glass top. So this is what I'm going to use. I would rather it be way bigger than small. And to my pot, I'm going to add a couple of bay leaves and a few black peppercorns. All right, so now you see all that beautiful color we got on there. I'm going to put these in my pot. Now I'm going to toss those vegetables with this. So now I'm just going to give these about 10 minutes in that hot oven. So next, and one of the most important things when you are making your stock is starting it in cold water. When you make stock, you start to extract any kind of impurities that might be in those bones, and they slowly rise to the top where then you can skim them off. If you start in hot water, the impurities are pulled out too fast and they don't float to the top. They integrate themselves into your stock and where they stay, and then they make your stock cloudy. So cold filtered water is very important. And we're going to slowly bring this to a simmer. We never want to boil your stocks. You want them to simmer only. Okay, so can you see how we have bubbles just barely breaking the surface? So that's what we want to continue. And then if you do get some foam, just skim it off of the top. and we just want to maintain this. All right, here we are, 24 hours later. We still have that gentle little bubbling at the surface. You can see how much it's reduced. So now it's time to strain. All right, so now I'm straining. I'm gonna strain mine twice. Once through this big strainer, and then we're gonna strain it a second time through some cheesecloth. Now you're gonna wanna let this come to room temperature before you put it in the fridge. If you're uncomfortable with just letting it sit out, you can set this bowl into a bowl of ice water to help it cool down. Just don't put this in the refrigerator hot. And then we're gonna put this in the refrigerator, and then we'll come back and check on it tomorrow. So now that our stock is out of the refrigerator, it's time to decide what to do with it. First of all, the fat that's on the top, I want you to save that because it's amazing to cook with. Trust me, fry some eggs in it. You'll love it. But what are you gonna do with your stock now? Well, there's so many options. You can freeze it. You can pressure can it, which is what I'm getting ready to do. Or you can put it in a pot and you can reduce it. Now you're gonna reduce this till like 3/4 of it's gone, and you're gonna end up with this really concentrated beef stock till the point where 1 tablespoon equals 1 cup of beef stock. So I do that a lot of times on the boat if I don't have my pressure canner with me, and then I just put that in ice cube trays, and then I can just pull out 1 cube, and I know that's a cup of stock. So I really hope that you start making your own stock, and I hope this helped. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.